Today's biography is on Lennox Lewis, arguably considered one of the greatest fighters of all time. Lennox Lewis is a former professional heavyweight boxer from London, England, who is widely regarded as one of the greatest heavyweights of all time. Born on September 2, 1965, Lewis had a successful amateur career before turning professional in 1989. He quickly made a name for himself in the heavyweight division, and by 1992, he was challenging for the World Heavyweight Championship. Lewis won the World Heavyweight title for the first time on November 13, 1992, when he defeated Donovan Razor Ruddock in a unanimous decision. This was the beginning of a successful reign as World Heavyweight Champion, which would last for almost a decade. During this time, Lewis would defend his title several times, including against world-class fighters such as Evander Holyfield, Mike Tyson, and Vitaly Klitschko. Lewis was known for his technical boxing skills, his powerful punches, and his exceptional footwork. He was also known for his tall stature and reach advantage, which gave him an advantage in the ring. Despite these strengths, Lewis had a few close calls throughout his career, including a draw against Holyfield in 1999 and a knockout loss to Hazem Rahman in 2001. However, Lewis showed his resilience and determination by coming back from these losses and regaining his World Heavyweight title. Lennox Lewis vs. Evander Holyfield. The fight between Lennox Lewis and Evander Holyfield was one of the most highly anticipated heavyweight boxing matches of the 1990s. The bout took place on March 13, 1999, at Madison Square Garden in New York City and was a unification match for the WBC, WBA, and IBF heavyweight championships. Lewis, the reigning WBC champion, and Holyfield, the reigning WBA and IBF champion, were two of the most dominant heavyweights of their era, and their meeting in the ring was seen as a battle for supremacy in the heavyweight division. Lewis, a native of London, England, was considered one of the most technically skilled heavyweights in the sport. He had a height advantage over Holyfield, standing at 6 feet 5 inches compared to Holyfield's 6 feet 2 inches, and was known for his powerful punches and his ability to take a punch. He had a record of 31-1-0 with 25 knockouts going into the fight, and was considered by many to be the top heavyweight in the world. Holyfield, on the other hand, was known for his heart and determination in the ring. He was a two-time heavyweight champion and had held the WBA and IBF titles for several years. He had a record of 36-3-0 with 25 knockouts, and was known for his quickness, agility, and boxing skills. He was also considered one of the toughest fighters in the sport, having taken on some of the biggest names in heavyweight boxing. The build-up to the Lewis-Holyfield fight was intense, with both fighters trading insults and challenges in the media. Lewis was confident in his ability to defeat Holyfield, stating that he would prove that he was the true heavyweight champion of the world. Holyfield, meanwhile, was determined to prove that he still had what it took to be champion, and that he was not ready to be counted out just yet. The fight itself was a highly anticipated event, with thousands of fans packed into Madison Square Garden to witness the battle between the two heavyweights. The atmosphere was electric, with the crowd cheering loudly for both fighters as they entered the ring. Lewis started the fight strong, using his height advantage to keep Holyfield at a distance and using his powerful punches to control the pace of the fight. He landed several heavy blows on Holyfield in the first few rounds, and it seemed as though he was well on his way to a dominant victory. However, Holyfield was not one to be counted out so easily. He began to take the fight to Lewis, using his quickness and agility to close the distance and land some punches of his own. He was able to catch Lewis off guard with a few quick combinations, and he soon began to take control of the fight. Lewis was not able to keep up with Holyfield's pace, and he began to tire as the fight wore on. Holyfield took advantage of this, landing several heavy blows on Lewis and sending him to the canvas several times. Despite Lewis's attempts to regain control of the fight, Holyfield was able to outlast him, winning the bout by unanimous decision. The boxing community, however, is still divided today. Many fans felt that Lewis won the fight conclusively. Lennox Lewis vs. Mike Tyson. The fight between Lennox Lewis and Mike Tyson took place on June 8, 2002, and was one of the most highly anticipated boxing matches in recent history. The fight was a heavyweight championship bout, with Lewis holding the WBC and IBF titles and Tyson coming in as the challenger. The two fighters had been scheduled to fight each other twice before, but both fights had fallen through due to Tyson's legal troubles and other issues. Before the fight, both Lewis and Tyson had made a name for themselves in the world of boxing. Lewis was a highly skilled and technical boxer who had been the unified heavyweight champion for over 2 years. He was known for his impressive height and reach, as well as his powerful punches and excellent defense. On the other hand, Tyson was known for his explosive power and relentless aggression. Despite his controversial past, Tyson was still a formidable fighter, and many fans and experts believed that he had a good chance of winning the fight against Lewis. The build-up to the fight was intense, with both fighters engaging in a lot of trash talking and verbal sparring in the media. Tyson made headlines with his comments, including a threat to eat Lewis' children, and the two fighters had to be separated several times during the pre-fight press conferences. Despite the trash talk, both fighters were respectful of each other's skills and abilities in the ring. The fight itself was held in Memphis, Tennessee, and was watched by millions of fans around the world. From the opening bell, it was clear that Lewis was the more technical and skilled fighter. He used his height and reach advantage to keep Tyson at bay, and used his powerful punches to dominate the early rounds. Tyson tried to get inside and land some of his powerful shots, but Lewis was too quick and too skilled for him. In the fourth round, Lewis landed a big right hand that sent Tyson to the canvas. Tyson got up and tried to fight back, but Lewis continued to dominate the rest of the round. In the following rounds, Tyson tried to come forward and engage Lewis, but Lewis continued to use his height and reach advantage to keep Tyson at bay. In the eighth round, Lewis landed another big punch that sent Tyson down for the second time in the fight. Tyson got up, but was clearly hurt and unsteady on his feet. The referee decided to stop the fight, and Lewis was declared the winner by TKO. The fight between Lewis and Tyson was a huge event in the world of boxing and had a significant impact on both fighters' careers. For Lewis, the win cemented his status as one of the best heavyweights of his era, and he went on to defend his title several more times before retiring in 2004. Tyson, on the other hand, saw his career decline after the loss to Lewis, and he never regained the heavyweight title. He retired from boxing in 2005 and is now remembered as one of the most controversial and polarizing figures in the history of the sport. Throughout his career, Lewis was known for his dedication to training and his commitment to being the best heavyweight boxer in the world. He was also known for his charity work and for being an ambassador for the sport of boxing. In 2009, Lewis was inducted into the International Boxing Hall of Fame, cementing his legacy as one of the greatest heavyweights of all time. Since retiring from boxing, Lewis has remained involved in the sport as a commentator and analyst. He has also been involved in various business ventures, including his own production company and a line of fitness equipment. What are your thoughts? Is Lennox Lewis one of the greatest boxers of all time? Lewis was known for his exceptional power, accuracy, and athleticism in the ring, and his dominant performance in big fights earned him a place in the Boxing Hall of Fame. How would Lennox fare against today's boxers like Anthony Joshua or Tyson Fury?